Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Can you even see me? Yeah, I can almost see me. Damn, I am a good looking rascal. I don't care what the rest of the world says. Well, I'm sitting up here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. About 40 miles or so from the yard. Made it in here with plenty of time. This is one of these tobacco-free facilities. Thank you for your cooperation. So, I'll make sure I let them know if I see any tobacco running around out here. The old boy I checked in with, that's going to be unloading me here in a little bit. He told me they got a meeting. What happened last week? Got to the receiver and they had a meeting. And he said it shouldn't be but 20 or 30 minutes. Yeah, right. Then he'd get over here and get on me. Yeah, right. It don't matter. It's coming off today. I wasn't late. I made it here. With damn near 2 hours to spare. I was up early this morning. The meds that they gave me, I could already tell and notice in a couple of my issues, or in one of my issues anyway. That was a good thing. And I'm like, damn, one pill and a night's sleep. So hopefully that's going to work out good. I shot Mama a message when I got up, which is what I normally do. Just let her know when I'm up. Never know if she's sleeping or not, and vice versa. So after a few minutes she hadn't answered, I done took care of all my stuff. I had like an hour and a half to kill. I started making a video, and then Mama called. We shot the bull for damn near an hour until it was all but time for me to roll. So I deleted the video. You didn't get to see those 5 minutes. I was talking about these ELDs and hours of service, and how that sitting around like for an hour and a half just drives a bunch of us crazy. Especially us old school that's used to just going. And the thing is, folks, the hours of service have been around for a long time, in one form or another. This electronic log stuff has not changed our hours. All it's doing is making us do it legal. You come over here, I'm going to kill you. I ain't sure what it is. Damn near looks like a spider on a web blowing around. If it is, he's going to be a dead spider here in a minute. That is a spider in my truck. Now he's a dead spider in my truck. But yeah, the hours of service is not changing or none of that. They're just holding our toes to the fire a little bit more. It's kind of like back when we had the 8 and 10. You could run 8 hours or run 10 hours, and you had to take at least 8 hours off. And that really worked pretty good for a bunch of us. Me, doing that 5-4 split, that was just awesome. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. But then the powers to be, they decided to change them on us. And they decided that if we only was getting 8 hours off, how could you get 8 hours sleep? still get your shower and your meal and blah, blah, blah. So you must need more time off. So that's when they came up with the 10 hours off. So to compensate for that, they go ahead and give us 11 hours we can run. They did away with our split sleeper berth that we like. Now there is still one out there, I know. Don't get on here telling me that there's still one. But they've made it such a pain in the ass, it's ridiculous. I don't use it. Wonder what he's doing. He must be having trouble with his forklift. But if we could still make changes and run like we used to, then they wouldn't be able to control us. And it's like I was listening to a guy being interviewed on a regular FM. I don't do the series and all that anymore. I gave that up years ago. But brakes are sticking on that. That's what he's trying to fix it. And he was telling them, he said, wow, they are starting on me. He was telling them in that interview that regardless what they do, if a truck driver wants to cheat, he's going to cheat. He'll figure out a way. And that's very true. Somehow someone will figure out a way to manipulate this ELD. It's just a matter of time. Myself, I don't worry about it. Yes, I get aggravated like this morning. I see absolutely no sense in me sitting there an hour and a half when I'm ready to truck. However, back when it was paper logs, if I was running legal, I was still supposed to sit there for that hour and a half. It's never been legal to tear out a page and redo your hours and take off. We all did it. Forever we all did it. That don't make it right. The 70-hour rule, if you was running loose leaf, I guarantee you can manipulate that rascal. That was real easy to do. Now I have sat in a truck or in truck stops for many an hour, redoing days to recoup enough hours to keep going today. I've sat in there 2 hours recouping hours just so that I could run 4 or 6 just to make my delivery. That don't make it right. It just makes it doable. The dispatchers, one of their favorite sayings was, well, hell, they sell all kinds of hours in a truck stop, driver. Go buy you some new hours, which is telling you buy a new logbook and cheap. ELD, they can't do that. Now, I know there's people that say that it's an invasion of your privacy. That one I ain't quite figured out yet. But that's been addressed in Congress in their hearings. There's those that say that it is a tool of harassment, and it could be. That has been addressed. Now, whether companies adhere to it or not is a whole different story. I am not required to take off as soon as my 10 hours is up. That ain't how our company works. I am sure there are companies out there that think that you should. I am also sure those are probably some pretty small or pretty big companies that has a whole bunch of the new drivers out there just graduating, and they can harass them. And that's exactly what that is, in my opinion. Because them same companies that want you to hurry and get that freight to that warehouse because they really need it. They already have 3 warehouses full of it. And you get there and they're like, what do we do with this shit? We ain't even got room for it. We don't need this. But your dispatcher thinks they do. Those are the same companies that are not running the drivers that's been there a while. They are pushing the new drivers that are on the lowest rung of the pay scale and pushing the dickens out of them so that that company can make an extra penny, 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. And the drivers that's been there 6 months or a year that's making 2 or 3 cents more a mile, they're not getting there to miles. It's all a big game. All the old drivers already know this stuff. People coming into it have to learn it the hard way. We can tell them till we're blue in the face, but that don't mean they're going to understand. And it's nothing but a vicious trucking game that companies and dispatchers play. Myself, I don't know that I would work for a company that is going to push me that hard. This company has put me on some tight runs, but I push myself. I always have. That's that old school stuff where I'm usually up before my 10 hours is up, and I'm sitting here biting at the bits. I'm ready to go. So my company don't have to push me. That being said, you've heard me in other videos where I've had to make myself sit there for an extra hour or two because of the way my time is running, and I didn't want to start my 14-hour clock. Said it before, I'll say it again, time management with this electronic logs is your best tool. Some of the old school might have a little bit of trouble with that because their time management was haul ass and get there as quick as you can, and if you have sat there 4 hours, then you try to check in and see what happens in 4 hours. Well, on the electronic logs, you're going to burn 4 hours. I no longer try to get there that early. I no longer try to be the first one in the dock. How many times is it first come, first serve, and you think you're showing up early because you're there an hour before they open or 2 hours before they open, and there's already 6, 8, 10, 12 trucks in line, and you're like, well, shit. You do that with your electronic log, and you're going to be sitting there for a while. Now your 14 hours is burning up. So, now this is all just my philosophy and my way of dealing with it. Everybody else is going to have to come up with their own philosophy and their own way of dealing with it. The biggest hassles that I have seen is at the end of your 14 hours. When you're trying to make it to a safe haven to stop. And you've done ran your butt off all day trying to make it to this receiver that jacks you around. You've got, say, 3 hours left on your 14, even 4, and you get to this receiver and they jack you around for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, and now when you're done, like that one hand last week, now you got 10 minutes and they won't let you stay there. Now what do you do? And that's where Hollow Point did his comment about his company, said just log it on your remarks, who the shipper or receiver was, whatever company it was. I'll ad lib to it a little bit, you know, put in how long you was there. I was there 5 hours, you know, and won't let me stay there, or wouldn't let me stay there, leaving to find a safe haven. Of course, we've got a place up by Bartlesville, Oklahoma, a Walmart up there that won't let you stay there. And if I leave out of there, which I had to do, luckily there is one truck stop with paid parking, but my company reimbursed me for it. And I happen to get parking at that one place, and it's only like 3 or 4 miles away from it. they don't have that much parking. And if they had been full, then I would have pretty much had to run all the way back to our yard. The night that I foreseen this coming, and I'm trying to talk to the company and the safety guy, the log guy and safety guy, same one, and he's trying to tell me, well, you just go to, I don't know what to tell you. You got to do what you got to do, so I guess just go to a safe haven. I said, dude, that's all the way back to the yard. That's pretty much 100 miles. Oh, well, you can find somewhere in Tulsa. Tulsa? Really? What have they got? 2 truck stops, and you think that at midnight you're going to find parking in Tulsa? You're going to waste more time trying to find parking than I'd already be at the yard. So, you know, that'd be crazy. If you're over on your 14, you got to run 100 miles. That's going to be hard to explain to DOT. Now, of course, Way Hollow Point was talking. His company saying go to the first ramp. Well, what if you're in a state where they don't allow it? What are you going to do if they come beating on your door 2 or 3 times during the night, each shift? Driver, you can't be here. Man, I'm out of hours. They jag me around. Well, for one thing, how is that a safety break if you keep having to wake up? And that's what your 10-hour break's supposed to be, is a safety break. You're supposed to get rest so that you're safe tomorrow. And I have called companies on that. Back in the day, before cell phones and all that, oh, call me in 2 hours. Go ahead and go to bed and call me in 2 hours. Dude, I ain't getting up every damn 2 hours to call you. I ain't doing it. How is that supposed to be restful? Damn. Easy back there, hot dog. I got 800-pound nuggets back there he's taking off. He's getting a little rough. He's probably stacking them, taking 2 off at a time. I ain't getting out to look. When he's done, he'll drive up here and sign my paperwork. Just me ranting about ELDs. Overall, they don't bother me that much. Yes, there are times. But guess what? When it was paper logs, there was times it bothered me. So, that is my right as an American truck driver, is to bitch and to complain and to carry on and to not be happy. And I like to exercise that right every so often. So, I forget when it's supposed to come into effect, where everybody's supposed to have ELDs. But they are damn sure, oh, here he is, hold on. Well, it wasn't too painful.
Yeah.
Alright folks, as you seen, he came up, brought me my paperwork. I am gonna act like I want to get out of here. 45 minutes, and that was with them in a break. Y'all remember, God loves you, so do I. These ELDs, we'll be alright in the long run. Most of us. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.